markets. Okay, hi everybody, welcome to today's very special webinar with one of our customers actually, who's just become our representative in Australia. I'm very, very pleased to welcome to the webinar Danny Eunice. I've got to get that name right, Eunice, because every time I've seen Danny previously in the webinars and I never spoke to him, in England we would pronounce his surname Younes, but of course it's Eunice, so I've got to get that bit right. Anyway, Danny's going to be with us shortly, and he's going to explain to you some of the tactics he uses to trade and invest in the markets. And the reason we've made this not just an Australian event, we've made it an event for everyone on our database, is because Danny doesn't just trade the Australian markets, he trades other markets as well. And I won't steal his thunder, I'll let him tell you all about that. I'll bring him in shortly. Now, I want to start because we want this to be educational in nature. We want you to learn things. So I think it's all well and good, you know, when you're doing education, we are educators, and we're teaching you how to trade and invest in the markets. It's all well and good doing things in hindsight, but it's much better when, you know, we've set up a trade in foresight. Now, many people in this room, a lot of them are members of our Trading the Markets Trade Alert service. And yesterday, we actually sent an alert out, and what I'm going to do, I've made it public, so you can actually go and see this after the event. And it's a video, and it was actually a trade on a Forex currency pair, which was the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. Now I'm going to click on this button here, and I'm not going to play the video because we don't have time, but it's about 4 minutes long. It's not a long video, and it explains the setup in a lot of detail prior to the big move that happened in the yen overnight and during yesterday. And in fact, we traded this in yesterday's live session. And you can see, and I'm just going to show you something that is one of my favorite setups using this new scanner that we've developed as a company. Now you'll see, and hopefully, can everyone see my screen, by the way? Hello Pedro, down there in Portugal, good to see you. Can everyone see my screen just before I start showing this? Okay, good. So what you want to look for, right, and what Danny is going to explain to you today is what is volume spread analysis and how do you use it to identify trades. And I'm sure Danny will explain in more detail how this scanner actually works. But yesterday, I got an alert here in the scanner telling me that sign of weakness 126, which has a number, has appeared in a 4-hour time frame. Now, why is that extremely significant? Well, the higher the time frame that appears in, the bigger the move to the downside is going to be. And it was followed by what we call no demand, which was here. And you can see this is the actual chart. Here is the signal, which I'll explain in a minute, and here is the result of what happened. And you can see the trending system and the volume thermometer were aligning with this system, telling us that the market was weak, not strong. So this particular alert was done in the MT4 trading platform, and we actually have a plugin for a number of platforms, but MT4 is one of them. And there's a way here of programming this indicator and many others that we've actually programmed for you to send you an email when it appears in the time frame that you're monitoring. And in this case, you can see I monitor the weekly, daily, 4-hour, 1-hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute time frames. You can see here on the 1-minute time frame, we've just had an indicator appear here, 143. So if I was to go down to that 1-minute time frame, I would see that we've seen here, okay, some no demand. Wouldn't even bother trading that at the moment because you've got this in the background. Actually, this market looks like it, and I mentioned this to Danny only half an hour ago. I said this market is being bought at the moment, not sold now, and there's actually some signals telling us that it's likely to push higher at the moment. However, going back to what Danny will talk about in more detail, was what happened yesterday. Now, this is what we call a sign of weakness, all right? It's a sow. It's not a female pig. It is, in fact, a sign of weakness. It's not a sell signal. These aren't buy signals. These are measuring the imbalances of supply and demand. And this is a very powerful setup because it's based on the action of 2 bars. And I call this an engulfing bar. And when you see it in a downtrend, which this was, it's extremely powerful. Now you'll notice the first bar goes up, okay, and an up bar is simply defined by a price bar that closes higher than the bar behind it. But the next bar is a clue as to what's actually happening. Okay? It says the first bar is an up bar closing near its high, followed by a down bar closing near its low, giving the appearance of a top reversal. If the high of the first bar is into fresh new high ground and volume is high or greater, this can be climactic action. Add more weight if volume is higher on the up bar. If the high of the down bar is higher than the previous high, this also adds to the weakness. Future. This setup shows weakness. What we mean by that when we talk about weakness is its opportunities to short the market. And lo and behold, yesterday when you went to the 15-minute time frame, what we saw was really clear examples of what we call upthrusts. Okay, and again, I'm sure Danny will talk about this. We've got different signals coming in here already. We've got some weakness coming over here, look, the trap up move. And again, that came in overnight, and you can see how the market has responded to that weakness. And over here, you've got the upthrust. And these are the things that in the actual alert that we sent out, we said to look up for. So I'm not going to play the video, but I will put it in the room for you. So afterwards, when Danny's finished, you can have a look at it. There it is. I'll just post it in again. And you'll see what you as a trader need to be looking out for in these markets. All right, without further ado, hello Fiona, lovely to see you. Kyriakos, we're going to do the seminar with Tom tomorrow, okay, because for various reasons, we've sent out 2 emails already in the last 24 hours, so we're going to do it tomorrow on Saturday. It's going to be at a similar time. It's going to be at 1 p.m. UK time. We are going to cover the ASX market. We are going to cover the S&P, the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq, and the FTSE, and we will also look at some Asian stocks as well. It's all about stocks tomorrow. That's what we're going to focus on. We're not going to be doing Forex or anything like that. All right, so no problem at all. Fiona, nice to see you as well. Without any further ado, it's with great pleasure I introduce one of our customers, just like Darren and Abraham, who now represent us in different regions. Darren looks after the UK and most of the other English-speaking countries. Abraham looks after the US and the Spanish-speaking countries because he speaks fluent Spanish. And now we've got Danny, who's over there with Fiona, and they look after the Australian market over there. Fiona, who's in the room here, Fiona Bryce, runs a very active Facebook page, which I do highly recommend. If you're in Australia, go and find the Aussie TradeGuider VSA Facebook page. It's got lots of good information on it, and it's very active. So, without any further ado, would you please give a very warm welcome to our representative in Australia, appointed very recently, only the last few days, Danny Eunice. Danny, over to you, mate. All the best.
Thank you, Gav. Thank you very much. Welcome, folks. Welcome to tonight's webinar. So tonight what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to go and show you how I basically trade. So I primarily trade the US markets. All right, so I'm a swing trader, and I basically trade options in the US market. Now I also trade the Forex market as well, and I do dabble in the Aussie market as well. So so basically I'm a options trader and a Forex trader. All right. So before I begin, I just wanted to give you a quick background about myself and how I got into trading. Well, basically, I was working as a software programmer. You know, went to school, got my bachelor, you know, and started working as a software programmer for about 13 years. After 13 years, I just had enough of the politics that occurred in the corporate world, and I decided that I wanted to basically, you know, spend more time, you know, with my family. You know, I've got three kids of mine. I've got 3 boys, you know, happily married, and yeah, so I just wanted to spend more time with them. So I looked to trading as my way out of the corporate world. So I started trading, and I did start trading the Aussie market, and I had no idea about, you know, how to trade or anything like that. And friends of mine told me, you know what, all you need to do go and see a broker, sign up with a broker. They'll give you trades. They'll make money for you. I go, okay, we'll do that. So I signed up with a broker. They were placing trades, and I do remember this one trade that during the GFC, we had a spread on the stock ANZ. And in that month that I was in that trade, I actually lost $10,000, and that was basically my first trade, which a broker recommended for me. So from that time onwards, I said to myself, I'm going to have to learn about the markets. It's no use following other people's advice. I need to get myself, educated and basically trade for myself. And I started learning. Every book that I came across, learned about charting patterns, learned about candlestick patterns, support and resistance and different indicators, MACD, RSIs, learned all about that. And I was starting to become a better trader. But there was times in the market where I get into a trade that I think it's going to go up, and it basically turns around and comes back the other way. And it kept on happening to him. I go, why is it doing that? Like, it's breaking this key resistance level, and then the next bar just falls away and goes back the other way, and I'm stopped out of a trade. So that's where I came across VSA. A friend of mine introduced me to it, and the VSA principle. What I learned from the VSA principles was that in order to trade the markets, I need to follow in the footsteps of the smart money. Okay, so I need to know who I knew that the smart money, the professional traders are moving the markets, but I wanted to be in sync with them and get in when they're in, and just ride a trade. So that's what I wanted to aim to basically achieve. So with VSA, as you know, it basically measures the imbalance of supply and demand in the market. Okay, and now getting caught out with a false breakout rarely happens to me. All right, because I've educated myself to actually know how to tackle a breakout trade using the VSA principles, and that's what I want to show you today in some of the charts that I've been looking at, and I've also traded over the last week or so. All right, so that's a bit about my broker, and what I aim to do is I aim to educate people around the globe on how to trade the markets. Okay, so I use the VSA, and I use my other learnings that I learned about technical analysis. So I incorporate VSA with what I'm already doing. All right, and it just gives me that extra weighting of evidence. All right, when I come to place a trade with the VSA principles. Okay, so what I've got in front of you here now is I was just searching through the net, and do a search on market manipulation, and I found this article here, and basically says here, and this is dated back April 2014, but it basically says a top researcher says some Australian fund managers are manipulating the markets to boost their bonuses. Okay, so you guys agree that the markets are manipulated? Yes. If I can just get a show of hands, or type in a yes or a no. All right. People saying that nothing's showing.
Yeah, you're showing your screen, Danny. I can't see anything at the moment. I'll let you know when I can see it.
Okay, sorry about that, folks. Okay, here we go. That should be better now. You can see my screen.
Just coming through. Just bear with me. That's it. Got you.
Yep.
Got you. All
Okay.
good.
Cool. Sorry about that, folks. I thought I was showing my screen. Anyway, so yeah, so this this article here, basically they're saying that the Australian fund managers are manipulating the markets. Now, who agrees here that the markets are manipulated? If I can just get a show of hands. Yes, and it's a resounding yes. Okay, great. All right, so here, if I just quickly read from this article, just a couple of paragraphs. It says a leading researcher says market manipulation is prevalent in Australia, with trading spikes seen before the close caused by fund managers attempting to boost their bonuses. They are getting money in all the time, but instead of buying it every day, they save it and buy it at the last minute to drive more demand. Okay, and it shows here, research shows spikes in trading before the end of each month, quarter, and financial year are more common in Australia than in other comparative markets. Fund managers' investment performance is measured on these timeframes. Okay, and they give us a couple of stocks here: Village Roadshow, Ocean Gold, and REA as being stocks that are basically bought or sold in the last 15 minutes of the trading day. So for any one day, with these three stocks, there's about $23 million worth of trading happening in any given day. But in the last, they said in the last 15 minutes before 4 p.m. on December 20th this would have been 2013, there was $23 million traded in that last 15 minutes. Okay, so massive market manipulation occurring by the fund managers. Okay, and with fund managers, and I'm not sure if you guys know, but fund managers keep their job if they beat the broader market. I think it was by about 2 or 3%. Okay, so if the markets are down 10%, and the fund managers achieve a minus 8% return or better, they get to keep their jobs. Okay, so my crucial thing here is to which I tell everybody is to get yourself educated. Do not rely on somebody else to make you money, because it's not your best interest that it's because they're basically working for their own best interest. And fund managers, they make their money from basically commissions and all that sort of stuff. So I say get yourself educated, and and that's the best way, and basically rely on yourself. So let's just have a look at that stock. Let's say REA. So if I go to the TradeGuider software here, I've got the stock here, REA, and on the 20th of December 2013, so I've just moved the cursor over. Okay, so you can see on, so it's just somewhere over here, 20th of December. That's the 18th. Okay. Or the 19th, yeah. So you can see here around that time, there is large spikes in our volume, right? So you've got high volume to ultra high volume happening on those days. Okay, so obviously they're they're in possibly buying at this point, because it's a good time to buy for them. There's no signal here by the VSA, but that is very high volume compared to what happens on other days. that's pretty high volume. So yeah, so they do this, after every quarter, every financial year. Okay, so that's basically interesting to know that they do that sort of stuff. All right, and just to make sure that they get their bonuses. Okay. So let's now move on. Now, I wanted to show you the trade that Gavin did last night on the USD Japanese. Okay, now bring up the MetaTrader. Okay, screens. Let's go. No, what's going on there? No. Sorry, folks, just a little bit frozen. Here we go. That's better. All right, so okay, so what we've got here, we've got what Gavin showed you was on the 4-hour chart of the USD Japanese. There was a 2-bar reversal, okay, which occurred. All right, so that occurred right here. All right, there was a 2-bar reversal, and when something like that happens on a larger time frame, then you can bet your bottom dollar that there's going to be a strong move in the direction that it's going. Okay, so we had a 2-bar reversal here, and then on the 1-hour chart, so we just show you that one. And my computer's running just a little bit slow, not sure why. There we go, another alert comes through. Okay, so what we have here is it gives us a supply coming in. All right. Now, the first thing that we want to make sure is that we want the different time frames to be in alignment. Okay, so with the USD Japanese at that time, all right, we had all the time frames were basically showing red. Basically, the 4-hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5, and the 1 minute were all showing red, that the price was coming down. Okay, now it's not showing that now because we've passed, but that's in fact what it was showing. So when you're looking at taking a trade, it doesn't matter what market you are in. When you're looking at taking a trade, you want to make sure that all your time frames are in alignment. Okay, so you don't want to say, okay, yeah, my 1 hour and my 4 hours coming down, but my 30 and 15 and 5 minute are going up. All right, so you don't want to get into a trade if they are not in alignment. So it's crucial, and this is the way that I trade. It's crucial for these different time frames to be in alignment. Okay, so at that stage, all right, all those time frames, the 1, 5, 15, 30, 1 hour, and the 4 hour, were all coming down. All right, so on the 1 hour chart, we had this supply coming in, and you can also say that this is a upthrust as well, because what they've done here is they've taken the price up. So the bars open down here. They've taken the price up and they've closed it on the lows. All right, so that's a upthrust as well. Okay, so there was, and the volume here as well. The volume here as well was quite high as well. So if you have a look at the volume, was also quite high. So there was selling, even though it was an up bar, there was selling happening. Okay, so the next bar basically confirmed that it was a down bar. Okay, now once we got confirmation of that, then we go into the lower time frames, all right, to basically time our entries. Okay, so if we look at the 15-minute chart, okay, so if we look at this time frame, you'll see there are principles that occurred. Oh. All right, so I'll just move that over. So this is the area. So here we had a bar which basically went up, was a widespread bar, but closed in the middle. Now, that basically tells us there is selling occurring, okay? Because with that bar closing right in the middle, it's telling us there are more sellers than there are buyers. So there is supply coming in. But what is happening with this this trending system? It's still showing us that it's going up. All right. So we don't want to enter a trade. So if we're going short, but our trending system is saying that it's going up, we wait. All right. We wait for a change of trend. Okay. Now, when that bar closed, it started to go sideways and it gave us a weakness has appeared. All right. So this bar here, it was it basically closed in the middle. All right. And there was quite high volume as well on this bar, just just above average. Okay. So showing us that there is more supply coming in. Next bar was down, which confirmed that, and then it came all the way down. Now, as always, these areas where there is a lot of supply, okay, it always gets tested. All right, always gets tested. So it's come down. It's showing us some signs of strength here. So it's showing us a test. All right, and then it's coming back up and retesting this level of supply, basically. So and we get supply coming in. All right, so again we've got a high test bar, a up thrust. Okay, that is because it's closed towards the bottom. So they've driven the price up, and then they've knocked it back down, and it's closed towards the low of the bar. Okay, so still on that 15-minute time frame, our trending system isn't showing that it's going down yet. It's basically going sideways here. You've got the grey dot, green dot, grey dot. So the next bar was confirmed. So we're still waiting here. So we're waiting for the right time to get in. Now I know Gavin would have got in after this bar here. I do believe it was after this bar, but I would have got in, and I would have waited for some further signals. And what do you look for in a downtrend? What sort of VSA signals do you look for? Can anyone tell me what sort of signals in a downtrend which will confirm for you that there is weakness? Up thrusts and no demand. That's right, Jim. All right. So what we got here was a up thrust. All right. So that's a major sign of weakness. Now look at the diamond trending system. It's coming down. All right. And at that stage, all our time frames that we monitor, the 1, the 5, the 15, 30, 1 hour, and the 4 hour, were all in alignment, and they're all coming down. So our entry would have been over here on confirmation of this up thrust. Okay. Now again, we had further weakness, which was confirmed, and we got another up thrust. Okay, so that's major signs of weakness for this currency pair, and basically this went all the way down. It was a good 60, or we'll say a 50 pip move down until it got to this consolidation region. Okay, so it came down, it started to go sideways. All right, and then we were getting some VSA signals, all right, and we were getting no demand. Okay, so they were showing that there was further weakness, and that this was still got to come down. All right, so Gav would have I think he was saying he was still in this trade because his stop loss levels wouldn't have been touched, so he was basically still in that trade, and he captured the further move down. Okay, so that's how you are basically look for a trade, all right, and it doesn't matter which markets you trade, the forex, futures, stocks, whatever it is, all right. So you want to wait for basically trend alignment in the different time frames, all right, and then once you've got alignment, then if you're going short, you want to look for major signs of weakness, and they are the no demand and the up thrusts. Okay, so and that was a very nice setup that was picked up by Gavin and the trading the markets team. So if you look at the price of the Japanese yen, again it dropped and then it basically consolidated once again. Now have a look at this level. Now this level here is your support level. So if I just draw a line at this level here, that's basically your support level there. And look at what has happened. All right. Now with the breakouts, like I was saying, I used to get fooled all the time with breakout trades. They'll break out and then they'll just go the other way. All right. So this one here has broken to the downside. Now what I would look for now is I would look for a retracement. Can move that over. All right. So I would look for a retracement which will test this level that was broken. Okay. It will test this this level. So what I'm looking for here once I do a test is the no demand and the up thrust. But take a closer look at the volume, at what's happening as the price is moving up. Who can tell me what is happening with the volume as price is moving up? Can somebody tell me? Okay, correct. Volume is decreasing. All right, thanks guys. All right, so as the price is going up, the volume is decreasing. So to me, it looks like there's going to be further downside pressure. All right, and what I want to see it do is get close to this level of resistance, test that level, bounce off it, and give us some sort of no demand or up thrust signal. All right, and then if it does that, then I want to make sure that all my time frames are lining up as well. Okay, so I want to make sure all my different time frames also line up. Now, once it tests this level, some time frames will be going up. So I want to wait until they're all in alignment, and then wait for a no demand or a up thrust signal. Okay, so that's what I'm basically looking for this one now. So this is your classic breakout and then a retest of the level that was broken. So looks like that there's not enough volume to keep on driving this up to break through and go back up. The volume is decreasing and coming back down. Now there was another chart that I wanted to show you, which was the British pound. All right, and again, classic signs of false breakouts. All right, this is a 1 hour chart of the British pound US. So I was eyeing this out and saying, okay, if this is gonna break, I want to see a retest and a bounce off and a bounce off that broken level and see it push higher. Now at that time, all my time frames were in alignment. All right, so if I bring up my British pound scanner, so you can see they were basically all in alignment. Okay, and we had a breakout, but look what happened. It actually got sold off, and at that level as well, there are signs of weakness. That basically occurs. All right, so the breakouts, all right, the professionals are there. All right, they basically perform a breakout to basically suck people into a poor trade, all right? And because traders don't want to miss out, all right? They see something that's broken out, they go, oh, let's jump on the bandwagon. This is going, all right? So they jump on board, and what do the pros do? They just sell, all right? They'll just sell and take the price the other way, okay? So, and that's what they've done here, all right? It's a false breakout, and they've driven the price back down, okay? So that's the other one. Now, another chart, the Euro USD. So if we have a look at the scanner, now this is getting close to all the time frames aligning. Okay. Now you've got a resistance level. Okay, which once it reaches, it gets sold off. So what I'm looking for here, all right. Now it's a bit too close to that level, so I want to wait for the breakout, and then I want to see a retest. And if it gives us that retest and a bounce, then there are trading opportunities there. Okay, but this is to look at getting into a trade, and it's close to that resistance level. I will not do that just yet. Okay, so I'll wait for the break of this level, and then a retest, and then a push up from there. Okay, so with it going up, all of these time frames will line up, and all the time frames will, going from the 1 minute down to the weekly. Okay. Okay, so now, so what I wanted to do, is there any questions about what I've covered thus far? Any questions at all? No one's got questions. Cool. All right. So what I wanted to do now is just take you through some stocks that I was basically looking at, and just close these dialog boxes. Okay, here we go. All right. So these are some of the stocks that I was trading. Okay, and I'll basically explain why I got into these trades. All right. So the first stock that I want to show you was the ADBE, Adobe. All right. Now this is a US stock. Now what you have here, so if I just, we had, this stock was, trending up nicely. All right, as you can see, forming higher highs and, basically higher lows. Now this area here, this dip here, was the Ebola crisis. I think that was back in October of last year, so which the whole market dipped. But after that, it just kept on going up and up and up. So now, if you take a look at this area here, all right, so here you've got a clear resistance level. Okay, let's just put a line there. All right, so this level here is clear resistance. All right. Now, again, this has broken out. So this, I should drop it down just a tad. Wrong one. Look at this one. Sorry about that. All right, so I'll just drop the line down just a tad. All right, we'll drop it to around $80. Okay. All right, so that is your resistance level here, and what was once resistance now becomes support. Okay, so we've had a breakout. all right, and the breakout, there's a lot of volume here. Right? If you have a look at the breakout, there's a lot of volume, all right. So, which basically indicates to me that there will be some selling, all right. So you got widespread bars, but as it's going up, the bars are getting smaller and smaller, and the spread of the bars are getting smaller, okay. All right, so, and have a look at the volume as well. As it's reaching that $84 level, you got a small spread bar closing in the middle, low volume. So there's no demand to drive the prices higher. So the prices have come back down, and it's retesting that resistance level. All right. Now what do we get? All right, we've got a no supply. Okay, so from that level, it goes up a couple of dollars, all right, and then gives us a no demand signal here, and it comes back down to retest. Now this area here, all right, if we look at this area here, is an area where where price where the stock gets sold off, all right, so it gets sold off here. So again, we see another signal, which is supply overcoming demand. All right. Now, the price did drop for a day, but it rebounded. Okay, it rebounded and started going up. Now, look at what's happened here. It has started going up, and if you have a look at this bar over here with the VSA indicator on it, we've got a bar which basically tests this supply region here, all right, and it's closed towards the high, all right. So this is a test in a rising market. So to me, all right, it's showing me that there is basically no more supply. All right, they're not going to drive this down. All right, so that's a nice test, testing these levels, this level of supply. Test it. The test bar was confirmed, and then it went up roughly around about $3 after that. All right, so this trade was a very, very nice trade. All right, we had a test. It reached basically reached my profit target. All right, so I was trading options on this, so I just simply bought a call option. Okay, bought an $85 call option. All right. And it was a nice return. Now I got out at this level, all right, because I was eyeing what was happening in the markets. Now what I do is I look at what's happening in the broader market, all right, so the S&P 500, and also look closely at the volume as this stock is rising. Okay, so what you can see here, as this stock is rising, the volume is decreasing. Okay, the volume is decreasing. Now, if we look at the S&P 500, and I don't have it here, so I'll just bring it up. So if you look at the S&P 500 from a couple of days ago, it was showing us signs of weakness as it was going up. So here we are. Let's give it a little bit of time. Okay. So it's given us, as the price was going up, all right, we see volume is coming down, all right, and it's nearing this resistance level. Now, that was a critical sign for me to say, hang on, there's something, there's not much demand to drive the price up. I was seeing low volume on the S&P as it was going up, and then with the ADB, the Adobe trade, it was showing me low volume as it was going up. So I said, okay, it's time to take profits, because it doesn't look like the market's going to go up further. So what's happened since Wednesday? The markets have been coming down. All right, the S&P has come down quite significantly. All right, and it's broken key levels. So if I just show you a bigger time frame of the S&P, all right. So if you locate the high volume bars, all right, and if you just draw a line on those bars where they've closed, that gives you levels where price is likely to go. Okay, so if we draw a line on this bar, so just a horizontal line. Okay. All right. So that area here, right? There's a lot of supply. Once it heads towards that area, it did. Price did go up above this area, but there was a lot of supply around this level here, and as you can see, it came down and retested that level, and it's fallen away. So the next volume bar that I've got here, which is high, ultra high volume, okay, which is that one there. Okay, another key support level. Yeah, price basically bounces off this level as well. All right, now we've got another level right here. Okay, that's another level where there's ultra high volume. Price is likely to come down towards this level here. All right, that would be the next area where I would think price will come down to. All right, if there's still further weakness, all right, and that's where it'll go down to. And drawing lines on the rest of those, you'll see that they're areas where price is likely to test, all right, and bounce off. All right, so if you get a test at those levels, all right, and the test is confirmed, then you're likely to see higher prices, okay, at these levels here. All right, so that's my trade with Adobe, and when I got in and why I got out at the area that I got out at. Okay. Other stocks. Okay, so other stocks. Now I was looking at Masco. It's another US stock. All right, so this one I am eyeing out. All right, I haven't placed a trade on this one, but looking at what has happened. All right, it's had a nice up move, and now right, we see the volume is basically decreasing here as it's moving up, and then we got this widespread up bar on massive volume. So there was some selling on that bar. Okay, so what I want to see is for it to basically test, and I'm thinking it'll probably test this level here, all right, the close of this bar here. All right, if it comes down that far, because that is where your ultra high Yao Ming bar, as Gavin calls it, that's your massive volume bar. Okay, so that will be a likely area where it could be tested. All right, so if it tests that area and the test confirms, then we are likely to see higher prices. Okay, so I'm just keeping an eye out on this. There's a bit of supply here. All right, so it's coming down as with everything else in the market over the last couple of days. Okay, so we just want to just watch it like a hawk, all right, and see where it's going to test. Okay, so that's something that I'll look to do a options trade. So I basically do my end of day. All right, look at the charts, and then I time my entries for the following day. Okay. Now, one thing with end of day, I like to make sure that my weekly and my daily charts are in alignment, all right, as well. So if one chart is in a uptrend, okay, then let's say the daily chart was in a uptrend, I would like to see the weekly chart also in a uptrend, okay, and then I time my way in on a 4-hour chart, okay. So it's critical to make sure that your time frames are in alignment, all right. And when you're looking at trading stocks, and purchasing options or trading stocks, you want stocks, all right, that are performing better than the broader market. All right. So when you do a scan, now this is the end of day TradeGuider software. When you are doing a scan, you can scan against the S&P 500 index. Okay. So you can scan against that, and it will give you the top 10 stocks that are strong and the bottom 10 stocks that are that are weak. All right, and you want stocks that are outperforming the broader market, so that if the market does come down, all right, these stocks won't be hit as hard. Okay, so you want to see stocks that are outperforming the broader market. Now, a couple of stocks I was looking at on the Aussie market. All right, so I was looking at a stock called DWS, right, and this came up in my scan. All right, so we had, okay, let's have a look at the 300 bars. All right, so we had a significant move down. All right, now as it came down, we saw some stopping volume, which is a sign of strength. Okay, now when you see that signal, okay, then there's something brewing in the background. All right, you had also a no supply, and then you had a test. Okay, but look at the overall trend. It's still coming down. Right? The overall trend is still down. So when would you want to look at possibly placing a trade? All right, when the diamond system is in a uptrend. Okay, and then what do you get when the stock is in a uptrend? Well, you want to look for tests, and when you get a confirmed test, then you can look at getting into a trade. All right, so this one had a test here back on the 22nd of July, and now we have approached this area of resistance at around $1.10. Okay, and then at that area we are seeing no demand. All right, so what I want to look for now, if I'm going to look at going long at this, is again I want to see if you have a look here, as it's been coming down, volume has decreased. I would like to see some testing, some no supply here, all right, and then the stock hopefully will keep on going up. Not sure what it did today. Not sure if it got sold off with the rest of the market, but this is something that I'm keeping an eye on, and possibly a target could be around about $1.30, right, for this, for this stock. Okay, so that's something that I'm keeping a eye on. Just sitting back, patiently waiting for the right time to get into the trade. Okay, so that's one of them that I was looking at. There was another stock, which was the Macquarie Group. It was. Now this is a weekly. Okay, so I'll just take it back to a daily. All right, so we've had. All right, so we've had this nice up move, and it's in an area of consolidation. Okay, this whole area. Once it reaches the tops here, they start selling off. So we've had no demand. We've had supply overcoming demand, and just these and a upthrust. Okay, so some weakness appearing at these levels now. Now this area here is support, and we're getting signs of strength. All right. So what I want to look for here, all right, is the stock to break down below these levels here. All right. I want to look for it to break down. Then again, I want to see a retest of those levels. All right. And once I get an upthrust or a no demand signal, then I'll look to go short. Okay. With looking at the weekly of this stock, what we got here is a upthrust. Okay, so a sign of weakness. All right, so you had this huge consolidation, and you see how there's a false breakout. All right, a false breakout sucked people in thinking that this stock is going to go higher. All right, and they basically drove the price of the stock back down. All right, so a classic false breakout. All right, so now I'm looking to go to the downside. So I want to see it break down, the trend change on the weekly and also on the daily charts. Right, making sure that they are both in alignment, and then looking for upthrusts and no demand signals. Okay. Any questions, or has anyone got any stocks that they would like to have a look at? I can only look at Aussie and US stocks. All right. So Roman, you said the close for Macquarie was 74.68. Okay, so it's had a big move down. So it's basically broken these supporting levels. Okay, so yeah, this was Thursday's close. So I haven't updated my data yet, but 74.68. So it had a massive move down. So about $3 or so. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll certainly keep an eye out on that one. All right, CRM. Okay, Yotam, CRM. Let's have a look. So it's in the S&P 500. Is that Aussie or US stock? US. Cool. All right. Let's have a look. Okay. Look at that massive volume bar here. All right. Now, if I put a line, a horizontal line on this bar, okay. Look at where the price gets to and gets sold off. So this is an area of supply. There's a lot of supply in this bar. There's a lot of selling. Massive volume. Huge. All right. So you would say that there's a lot of selling. All right. That's going on, and it shows you once it reaches that area, they sell off. Reaches it, yeah, it may pop its head, above that area, but it sells off, and there's signs of weakness. Supply coming in, upthrusts. They're all signs of weakness. All right, that occur. All right. Now this level here, this supporting level, has been broken, but you've also got another supporting level here at around about $65. Okay, so again, the diamond trending system, all right, is starting to show us that it's coming down. If we look at the weekly, okay, it hasn't turned over yet. All right, but if that if that breaks these levels here at $65, all right, we'll start seeing the weekly trending the diamond system also coming down as well. All right, so yeah, just keep an eye out. Once it breaks these levels and the trend is confirmed on both time frames, then start looking for no demand and upthrusts or a trap up move. That's another powerful signal as well. Okay, so that's what you want to look for. Okay, so let's see, we've got Dylan, the pairs that I trade are the major currency pairs. So the Aussie USD, Euro USD, USD Japanese, British Pound US, New Zealand US, and US CAD, and US Swiss as well. So they're the major ones. Okay, Robert, the stops in the TradeGuider software, all right, are these levels here. All right, so now that the prices come down, so I'll just magnify it now. So now with the price coming down, our stops are appearing at the top. So once you're in a trade, okay, you'll look at at placing your stops at these levels. All right, so and then bring your stop, down as the price comes down if you're going short. Okay. Okay, so Simon, when you get an upthrust or a no demand, you want to wait for the next bar to be a down bar to confirm that indicator, and then look at getting in then. Okay, I would like to wait for confirmation that in fact is a no demand or an upthrust or a trap up move or whatever it is. Okay, I like to get confirmation, so the next bar has to confirm, it has to be a down bar. Okay, to confirm my signal. Yes, Seneca, I do for that trade with ADBE. My call option was only for about 3 days. Yep, and that's perfectly fine. You can you can get into in and out of a trade, in and out of an options trade. I've had a options trade where I've gone in the morning and gotten out in the afternoon with a 100% or 150% return. So yeah, you can very short time frames you can use. Pete, which symbol are you referring to? Okay. Okay, so Michelle, you stated, how do you view the up gap? In which stock? Can you just confirm which stock? Okay, so my criteria for our stock selection is to basically find stocks that, all right, if I'm going long, find stocks that are outperforming the broader index. Okay, all right, and then look and make sure that my weekly time frame, my daily time frame are in a uptrend. All right, and making sure also that I get in off tests, so I don't get in on a breakout. All right, because as you know, and I've stated that there are a lot of false breakouts that occur. So I wait for the breakout. If there is in fact a breakout, and then I'll wait for a test. Wait for a test and then a confirmation of that test, and then I'll look at getting in. Okay, so if you're going long, you want to see no supply, and you want to see tests occurring. Okay, so Angela, with the ADB stock, I went long for three days by buying a call option. Yes, the reason why I got in there was a test in a rising market, and when I saw that there was decreasing volume, right, as it approached the $87 mark, then I decided to take profit, and I saw that the S&P was also weakening, right? The volume was decreasing, so that's why I got out of it within a few days. Okay, so James, what do you think is happening on the highest volume on DWS? Okay, let's have a look at DWS again. All right, so that highest volume there on DWS. All right, have a look at what's happening. So if I put a line there, all right. So if I put a line there, look at what's happening. That area, all right, of massive volume, ultra high volume, is being tested. Okay, so if there's going to be a lot of supply, then this is of course it's got to drop. So this area now is getting tested. So here we'd want to see tests occurring and no supply. Yeah. So with all the stocks that I find it through the scanner in the TradeGuider end of day software. Okay. So I just use the stock scanner. All right, and that gives me the top 10 strong stocks and the top 10 weak stocks. Okay, so it's a very handy tool. Okay, Apple. Let's have a look at Apple. So I know Apple recently has been hit hard. All right, so let's just take that out. So as you can see, all right, you got this area of resistance, okay, and you've also got this area over here. I'll just bring up a lot more bars. All right, so you got this area here, which is also an area of our support. Okay, so to stop this down move, all right, while you've got some stopping volume appearing, we want see that there may some a selling climax or something like that to see that see the down move end. Okay, so yeah, so with Apple, if we see a lot, if we see up thrust occurring around this area or no demand, then certainly it'll continue to drop. So at this stage, it's been going sideways, between the $10 range here. Okay, so we'll see what basically happens with this with this stock. Okay. On the 4-hour chart, Kyriakos, what I look for, I usually time my entries on the 4-hour. Okay, so I want to see tests, all the different VSA signals. Once all my time frames are in alignment, then I look to the 4-hour for my entry. Gold, I don't normally trade gold, but my view on gold is bearish. So I recently had a nice up move. Yesterday I had about a $25 up move. It's trading around 1150. But I think I'm with Gav that we see it going down to around about $1,000. My target for Macquarie Group, haven't gone that far yet to work out what my what my targets will be, but just looking at the chart, areas of our support could be where I have my target. Okay, so this stock, if it does drop, it could come back down, and if I just look at a bigger time frame, look at some more candles on the chart. Okay, we could see it come down towards $60. That's the area of our support there. Right, so it could quite possibly come down to that level. So yeah, we just wait and see. Rick, the sort of option that I choose, it all depends on what strategy that I'm using, as to how long and which strike I choose. If I'm just buying a call option, I need to have time on my side. So I'll look at buying a call option, could be 2 to 3 months out. All right. If I'm doing a credit spread, all right, I'll look for a trade that I'm no longer than a 2 to 4 week trade maximum. All right. So it all depends. Yeah. So Peter, the TradeGuider software gives you those weak stocks that are weaker than the overall market, and you can certainly trade those ones. Okay. Okay. So the symbol for Macquarie is MQG. Okay. Dylan, how long have I been trading with the VSA? I've been trading with VSA now about 12 months now. So yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah. So let's finish up there. I'll just have a look at one more stock, WFM. All right, and then we'll finish up. Okay, so this is I think this is one of the stocks that have been performing worse than the overall market. Okay, and it's in a severe severe downtrend. So what I would look for here is it has recently broken this support level here, and I would gather this gap was earnings. It didn't meet expectations. So this level here around 37, I would say. I would possibly wait for a retest. Right, see if it comes back and retests this this level here. Right, if it does and it fails, great. But if it keeps on going down, I would like to see it retrace and give us no demand or a up thrust. All right, so let's see what sort of indicators is giving us. It's giving us a no supply. Okay, so it's giving us a no supply right here, but it's kept on coming down, and that's with with the market in a general. All right, so now for those guys who are interested in forex, TradeGuider has a deal on their VSA for MT4 plugin. Okay, the plugin is now, you can get it for half price. Right, it's normally worth around three grand. Now you can get it for like about $14.97. And the deal that they've got is that you can purchase it and can purchase it over a 2-month plan of I think it's about $7.47 or something along those lines for the first month, and then you pay $7.47 for the second month. All right, so for those people that are interested in taking up that deal, all right, what you can do is go to www.tradeguider.com/Danny, and you can simply go to where it says VSA for MetaTrader 4. Click on that, and your option to buy the MetaTrader 4 plugin. All right, it's only up until Friday midnight US time. Okay, so this offer is only available until midnight Friday, US time. So the first payment will be $7.47, and the next payment after 30 days will be $7.47, and that is a lifetime ownership. Okay, so if you're keen to learn the VSA principles for MT4, all right, you can go to TradeGuider.com. I'll just type it in. All right, TradeGuider.com/Danny. Okay, now there's other, if you're looking at the TradeGuider software as well, all right, or the end of day or the real-time software or anything else, you can give me a call. My number, all right, so for those people that are in Australia, my number is, so if you go to the TradeGuider website, you'll see there's an Australian number here. All right, so I'll just put that in the room. All right, so you can give me a call. All right, so if if you are looking at any other products, you can give me a call and we can have a chat about it. Okay. All right, so for those guys who are serious about the forex for the VSA for MT4, you can take advantage of that deal. Okay, so there's a whole heap of questions here. I'll try and answer I'll try and answer most via email, if I can, because there's just a lot of questions. Okay. Okay, so okay, cool. My forex daily ritual. Okay, what I do is I basically, in the mornings I meditate, and then when I'm looking at the charts, I also have a training plan in place. I make sure that I read through that on a daily basis, and then when I'm looking at the charts, just looking for trend alignments across the different time frames, and then looking for setups. And it's that simple, really. Okay. Okay. So, is there any other questions, folks, about the VSA for MT4 plugin? Okay. So if you guys are keen, all right, or if you wanted to have a chat to me, please call me. You can also email me. My email is danny@tradeguider.com. Okay, you can also email me. And just a reminder about tomorrow's webinar with Tom and Gavin. Their webinar is at 1 p.m. London time on Saturday. Okay, so make sure you can get to that webinar as well. Okay. Yes, this is recorded. All right. You can watch it later on. Most likely, it'll be up in about a day or so. Thanks, Court. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Kyriakos. Thanks for coming along. Thanks, Simon. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Jim. Thanks a lot. Okay, have a great night, guys. And yeah, and certainly if you've got any questions, you can reach out to me via email or via phone. All right, thanks, Tina, Sinan, PJ. Thank you very much. Dennis, thank you. Rick, thanks a lot. Catherine, thank you. Mark, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night, and I'll certainly speak to you guys next time. All right, take care and bye for now.